All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Okay, 9/9. I love it. Lucky day. All right, September 9th. Let's make it a September to remember. We'll go over some stuff in a few minutes, but right now, let's introduce our man of the hour. We got Mr. John Thompson, a.k.a. JT. JT, you got to hit *6 on your phone to unmute yourself. *6. Hello.
Did that work? Can you hear me?
There you
Rick?
go. You're there. I can hear you now.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, we
like
can hear you now.
giving a great talk and then nobody hearing it, right? Yeah.
Right. I know. I've done that.
Yeah, I know.
Or like when Zoom first started, when COVID first started, you forget to unmute yourself, and people have to tell you're muted. Oh shoot, I hate that.
Yeah, that's not when it first started. It's still happening today.
Right, exactly.
That's how long it takes for us to break habits, right?
Oh my God. Yes. Well, everybody knows who you are, but just start off with just give them a little brief introduction. Tell them about your wonderful past, a quick one, and then we'll get into some really good questions about today and what's going on and all that good stuff.
All right. Do you want me to go all the way back to the third grade when I won a spelling bee contest?
No, kindergarten. Kindergarten.
Yeah, kindergarten.
Kindergarten, please.
Well, basically got into real estate, Rick, almost right out of college. I had 1 year after I graduated from college at Esprit, a clothing manufacturer. Maybe some ladies might remember that brand, but they are no longer. But worked for them as a financial analyst for 1 year, my first year out of college, and got a call from Gino, who I had known since I was 13, Gino Blafari, and said, "Hey, You know what? I'm getting pretty busy. I'm selling 5-6 homes a month, and I need help." Of course, this was long before laptops and computers, right? So everything was done manually. So selling 5 or 6 homes a month was a lot back in 1987, and I said, "Sure, I don't see any career growth for me here. I'll try real estate, Gino. Well, what the heck? That's how much time and energy I put into thinking about what I was going to do. Just went to real estate school at night while I was still at Esprit, and then quit and went to work for Gino in 1987 as his assistant. And that was kind of long before a lot of people were doing assistants. He was one of the first in a large office. I think him and one other agent had assistants. Teams weren't really a big thing yet, and so it was a great experience. We did that for 1.5 years with him, and then went off on my own and sold real estate and just kind of, stuck with Gino, whatever path he took. We went to start in Intero in 2002 together with a few other guys. And that was probably the most fun I ever had in my real estate career, starting a real estate company with a group of people that I loved working with and trusted and were hard workers and smart. And, it was the most fun I ever had. And then, of course, 2007 hit, and it was the least fun I ever had, owning a real estate company during those times. But we fought through it, made it, and in 2014 we sold to Berkshire Hathaway, and here I am today. I stuck around in my prior company for a few years after we sold, then came here to this company 2 years ago, not really thinking I was going to start up my career again, thinking I was going to wind it down, but got the chance to meet Troy and everybody here. And again, like anything else, it's all about the people. I fell in love with the people at this company and decided to give it another run in this company after I thought I was maybe going to consider retiring, but I'm having too much fun now working with you, Rick, and everybody in the company.
You're too young. We're basically the same age. You're too young to retire, my man.
I know. When I say retire,
even though you've done very well.
when I say retire, you never retire. There'll be something I would do, but you know, overseeing and managing and real estate operations, you know, I realize I don't have really any other skill set other than that, since that's all I've done for 37 years. So maybe I should just continue to do this.
Yeah, and so you know, that's what they say. That's what they say, JT. When it becomes boring for you, it's because you really, really have it down, and you just figure out a way to make it more exciting. But no, it's awesome. We are so blessed to have you here, and you know, I love the Gino stories because, you know, love Gino. I met you guys both in the early 90s, if not 1990, at a Mike Ferry event. I had been selling real estate for about 5 years at that time myself, and I had an assistant, and you know, I hit it off with you guys. The whole Mike Ferry group was incredible because it was just like a breath of fresh air. People treating, you know, the job like a business and succeeding really well. And, you know, because I only went to college for 2 years and then got right into real estate. So I got my license in 1985. And I've been in it. And you know, it's funny you say that because I feel the same way. My skill set, I've been doing this for 39 years. My skill set is real estate. So I'm just going to keep sticking it out.
Yeah, you know, why not, right? You said that there's one thing we know, it never gets boring, right? Either the industry or the business is you know, a little bit different every day. So it is an impossible business to you know, to get complacent in. I mean, you can, but you won't be in it very long because it's just always shifting and changing, like what we're doing right now with everything that's happening in the last 30 days. So, you know, it keeps it exciting, keeps it interesting, keeps it challenging.
No doubt. And what people really need to realize, and I don't want to make it sound like, you know, back in my day, you know, like we're ancient, because, you know, I'll be 60 this year, and you know, 60 isn't old anymore. 60 is the new 40, in my opinion. But do you remember, like, okay, people have to realize we've been around since before lockboxes. You actually had to go to the agent's office and pick up the key and then bring it back after the showing. And then combination lockboxes came out. You also mentioned, you know, doing everything by paperwork. Remember, we started, there was no MLS computer. It was MLS books.
Yep.
They updated it every 2 weeks. And today, I'm looking at this on my desk here, this iPhone with 3 cameras. And today is like, wow. It's almost like, you know, like, remember watching Star Trek with James T. Kirk talking to his communicator, and you're thinking, wow, that's now our little communicator does even way more. You can talk to the thing. You don't even have to type anymore. It's incredible how much. And just think now, 5 years ago, every 5 years, it's like unbelievable how much everything changes, right?
I know, it does. It does move so fast. Shoot, it used to take me, one thing I would do for Gino was, you know, put all his presentations together. And, you know, I had to type, you know, 3 bedrooms, 2 you know, all the sheets we had done, you know, but I had to type in, you know, the sheet, because there were no, you know, pre-made, you know, proposals and no computer. It was all typewriters. And then this was the best part. I had to go take pictures of all the comps, go to Photo Drive Up, wait, you know, 2 days, go back, pick up the pictures and glue them on the things that I, you know, had typed. So it took, you know, it took time to, you know, now you can do a whole CMA in, you know, 20 minutes, you know, but it took me 2.5, 3 days, and I had to go, you know, pick up the photos. So, yeah, I mean, it's funny. I think more, and now with AI and everything, it's like, that old movie WALL-E. I think we're getting closer and closer to WALL-E than whoever made that movie realized. Right. No, it's so true. It's crazy. Basically, you hit buttons and everything is done for you. You know. Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's absolutely nuts, but it's crazy too, because I remember you know, one picture in MLS, and now you can have, I think, 100. And now today, you know, even though your phone's incredible, you'd use professional photography. It's definitely evolved in a way that is obviously way, way better. But like you said, you know, I mean, it's changing. You have to be on the cutting edge of change at all times. Otherwise, even though the foundational stuff is basically the same, you have to be willing to, like
doing social media. Like I did a video right before. I do a video every day now. You told me 10 years ago I'm doing a video every day, I would tell you you're out of your mind, right?
Right.
But YouTube channel, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, even MLS now with everything we've got to do with all these different changes. So like you said, if you're not willing to make changes, this business will leave you in the dust.
And if you really look at it, what business doesn't, have that, every year as it evolves and changes? There's always going to be fundamentals, right? That are key in any business, and there's those fundamentals in our business here that drives, what you do 70% of the time, and that's just an approximation, but 20-30% of it is shifting, changing, all the time. What we're doing. And again, you're either adapting and adapting and adopting all these changes and running with it, or you'll notice yourself slipping back. So yeah, it's key to always stay up on the times and roll with all these, exciting things that this industry continues to evolve into.
Absolutely. So all these changes, and you came from the Bay Area into Arizona, and real estate's a little different there too. And all these changes that we've made over the last few years, anything like surprise you? Anything stick out at you? Anything you feel the need to mention?
It's fun as I talk to a lot of agents. The most recent changes with how we're getting compensated. What I do notice is, the agents that have, that are serious about this business, that, wake up every day, trying to provide value to their customer, trying to, what can I do? How can I solve their problems better that they have? How do I make this experience just over the top for them? They are not seeing, okay, yes, this is a change that we've had to go through, how we get compensated. They're not having as much of a difficulty with it versus those that kind of dabble in this business. And it's kind of been the beauty of real estate. Real estate has welcomed the dabbling, right? It's, and I'm saying that's good or bad. I'm just saying, hey, a homeowner, a home buyer, doesn't always necessarily want to choose the number one real estate agent in the market, right? They want to choose their friend that sells a few homes a year, right? And that's fine, right? The consumer ultimately is going to be the decision maker and the driver of where our business goes. But this change, I do think, is definitely going to put it make it a lot more difficult for our industry to continue on with the dabblers. I think it's we're gonna see them, say, all right, maybe this isn't a wonderful industry for me. I don't want to take it as seriously as it needs to get taken, because the business did get a little bit more challenging, for sure. And so that's the one thing I've, noticed, at least in the last 30 days, between that and units dropping off, from, nationwide 6 million down to 4 million, right? That's a pretty big drop off, 25% drop in units. So, there's just not as many, there's not as many fish in the barrel anymore. And so, those two things have definitely, had people make some tough decisions on what do I want to do with this business, right? And for those that are in it every day as a career, these changes are probably, they'll see a positive impact for them over the coming year. That's my prediction.
I agree 100%. And, I think, we've had some crazy things ever since COVID. And, the best 18 months in real estate happened from April of, 2021 to the end of 2022, or was it 2020? Whatever, when COVID started that April, there was like 4 months of everybody freaking. And then all of a sudden they went on an 18-month run. That shocked me. And, ever since then now, the base rate's been creeping up to zero. up to 5.5 now. It looks like they're going to start having it go the other way. So I think, and I agree with you, from 6 million to 4 is huge, but a lot of that is because the people that don't have to, right? When the interest rates are 3, if you want to live over there or downsize, supersize, side size, upsize, all that stuff, it makes sense now with the rates being, and there's still, let's face it, since you and I have been doing this historically, 6 is an incredible rate, right? But when you can get 3.25 or 3 to move, that's so. And I think we're going to start heading down a little bit. And I think some of those people out there, which will, make the inventory. Because let's face it, since you and I've been doing this, we've never seen such a shortage of inventory, right?
Right. Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, it's been a shock to the system, right? And and it's required, realtors to do, one important thing, which a lot don't like to do. Some do, but you got to talk to more people because there's less transactions. So everyone wants to know what's the secret, and give me the magic pill. And this is like, there is no magic pill. It's real simple. When the number of transactions go down, you just have to make sure you're connecting and talking to more people. So whatever your routine was, if you were consistent in talking to 5 people a day, well, you better make it 8. If your routine was 20 a day, you better make it 30. So you're just going to have to communicate and connect. It doesn't necessarily today always have to be on the phone. It could be text or on the web, but you're going to have to connect with more people with the inventory going down or the unit sales going down. And that's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Talk to increase your time that you spend every day trying to connect with your database and with, your farm and with, your lead base, whatever lead sources you have, you're going to need to, up that time, that you spend in that arena.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, at the same token, like you said, 75. If I want to close 3 a month, 4 a month, whatever it is, right? Whether there's like in Vegas, when, at the height of it, we were closing, 3,200 a month, or now we're probably at like 25, 26. So, there's still plenty of transactions for me to find my 2, 3, 4, or 5 per month if I do what you just said. And some of my favorite coaching calls, and I'm being sarcastic now, when they say to me, well, okay, I know I need to talk to them. What else do I need to do? Well, are you talking to them? Well, no. Well, nothing happens until you lay the foundation. All the other stuff happens when you lay the foundation, because like if you need social media content, right? Well, you start talking to more people a day, you have more sales, you have more open houses, you have more closings, you have more happy clients, you have way more stuff to talk about when you're actually doing the deal. When you're not doing the deal, it's easy to sit back and complain and say, well, the market's gone down. Well, that just means you have to work even harder, right?
Exactly. Right. Yeah, exactly. And the one thing agents, we need to remind them of, right, is, I know a lot of agents like to do passive marketing and branding, and that's great, right, with the social media and on the internet and on the web and direct mail. All that works. It's all great. The challenge that I see is those are all great for finding people, a potential lead that want to move, right? They're making the decision. But if you're looking for referrals, that usually comes out of a conversation. And that's where agents are missing the boat, that, if your database is 200 people, only 5 to 10% of them every year are making a real estate decision, right? Maybe 10 people, maybe 20, right? And then they're all not necessarily using you, right? Maybe they are. If they are, great, but it's the conversations with everybody that never moves, but they know somebody else that's moving, that you get that opportunity when you have a conversation. And so that's why it's so important to do, it's a conglomeration of everything that you're doing, from the note cards to the social media, to the postcards, to the handwritten notes, to the phone calls, to the emails, texts, everything. But the actual conversation is what can generate referrals when you start talking to somebody. And then you get to ask them, is there anybody else that that's thinking of trying to make a real estate decision in the next 90 days, right? And you don't get it doesn't work as much on passive marketing that way. That's why the conversation piece is always, the strongest lead generator of anything that we do as agents.
Right. And okay, so which leads me to my favorite question is top three things. Okay, I'm an agent. I want to maximize this market. I want to come out of the gates hot. I want whatever. I just want to take it to the next level. What are the three most important things you would tell them to focus on? And you probably already mentioned a couple. You can repeat yourself. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Number one, I would really look at going deep into my database, right? Because again, that's where you find those referrals, right? So, rather than going, wide, go deep, and a smaller database that you really are connected with, that you really know, that you really communicate with, that you really give value to, and that can bring so much business. I would just really look at how can I up my game with the people that already know me, number one. Number two, in the market and the business we're in today in this industry, I'd look at how, that old adage, work harder on yourself than you do on your business. Like, what are you doing? In real estate, the house isn't the product, right? The product is us. We're the ones, it's our service that the customer, the buyer or the seller is purchasing, so to speak, right? And so the question is, well, are you still on iPhone 6 or are you on iPhone 15? Like, are you upgrading? Right. Are you working just as hard on yourself as you are on your business? How are you upping your skills? How are you upping your attitude? How are you upping your mindset? Are you thinking bigger? Are you, challenging yourself and pushing yourself, harder than ever before on everything, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, everything. Like that piece, I found when anybody is in a slump, a lot of people have let that piece slide. I know that's what it was for me. For me, it was always like, diet, exercise, and my reading or my input, like the stuff I was listening to or reading, I dropped off. And then, maybe my workout slipped a little bit. And then I wasn't quite eating and treating my health as important. And lo and behold, my business was down, right? I mean, It is so critical, to note that I got to work hard on me because I'm the product. Make myself more valuable. Make myself more, inspiring, motivating, goal-driven, problem solver, as much as I can, and watch your business. You'll watch your business grow when you focus on that as well.
So true. I tell them all the time.
I don't know, but
no, that was good. That was good. It's true, JT, because I tell them all the time. Stop worrying about the transactions and just follow the system. Like you just said, get up, have a workout, maybe listen to audiobooks while you're working out. I'm listening to a great book right now by an Australian lady called Gravitas. She says Gravitas, but it's actually, I think it's pronounced Gravitas if you speak English or, American English. Gravitas. And it's such a great book about, the word is, means respect and knowledge, and, you want to be treated like that. And that it comes from how you're being as a person. You don't just get that. You have to act that way for people. And it's the same thing with real estate. People want to work with you because, yes, we're the product, but they're the client. We work for them. So we make them number one. They want to work with you. So you have to, if you follow a system and you believe and you believe in the system. Well, I'll tell you, like years ago, I met Deepak Chopra, and his whole talk was about the process guarantees the outcome. And it always hit me. Like, it's such a great way to say it. And like you were talking about mindset, Wayne Dyer, put your goal in your head and the universe will conspire to help you. So all those things I learned not from being, just naturally smart, from listening and listening. I listen to books sometimes 3 or 4 times, and I still listen to it again, and I hear new stuff, right?
Well, it's a new book every time because your life is a little different.
It really is.
Right? You know, and
Yeah.
things that weren't important to you the first time you read it now are, and they hit you, impact you differently.
So true.
So true. Yeah.
So true. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right,
Absolutely.
cool. So we got just I got 2 minutes left. Any final words you want to leave these lovely people, JT?
Oh, again, here's I'll keep it on the upbeat, right? Because I know that a lot of agents have been struggling through these last 45 days of change, and just know that try as they might, we're stronger. All of us are stronger than the circumstances around us, right? People are always going to be buying and selling homes. They're always, they're gonna need us, right? And so don't let any of these things let you be thinking differently. That the real estate industry is going to, the agent is not going to be needed. It's almost needed more today than ever before. But it needs the best of the best. So, work on becoming the best every single day that you can, constantly improving, constantly reading those books, constantly, surrounding yourself with the people that are doing more than you, right? Taking them to lunch. It's like, hey, if you're doing 5 deals a year, take the person to lunch that's doing 10 deals a year and saying, how are you doing 10? If you're doing 20 and trying to do 40, take the 40 deal, and just be inquisitive, ask questions, always be, seeking to learn and grow. And all of these things will just be a little bit of noise, and you'll be, as successful as you want to be in real estate.
I love it. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's so true though, because when you're brand new, you do a couple deals and you're like, I have 200 contracts. How could I possibly do anything else other than keep these together? And then 3-4 years later, you're like, I can have 5 or 6, 7 pending at one time.
So true, right? And so watch your conversations, right? When you catch yourself, if you're constantly talking about a transaction with other agents versus their business, their overall business, you're constantly oh, this one client, it's such, he's doing them, they did this, they did that. If you're talking transactions with your colleagues and your agents that are doing more business versus, how are you growing your business? How did you do 30 last year? How did you do 100 last year? Right? Watch those conversations. Talk about the bigger aspect, and be inquisitive with everybody about that versus, the individual transaction. And that's how, you'll continue to just add little pieces, add little slight edge things, which is another great book, The Slight Edge.
Oh yeah, it's a great book.
To your business that, again, over time, your business will continue to get better.
I love it. All good stuff, my man. Well, thank you very much, JT, for taking your time out today.
You got it, Rick.
I really appreciate it. All right, my man. Bye, everybody.
Right,
bye, JT. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.